So now let's see how to construct Turing machine for the ones complement. So it is simple and straightforward approach. In ones complement, if this is the given binary string, you have to convert this binary string into ones complement. So converting into ones complement, it is straightforward. You have to flip the bits. Zeros should be converted as ones and one should be converted as zeros. So let us take the input tape, and this is the input tape, and it is very simple approach and starts with the first symbol. Okay, you have to change the 0 as 1, 1 as 0, 1 as 0, 0 as 1, 1 as 0, 0 as 1. So you have to keep doing this until you finish the string, until you reach the blank space B. But it is a good practice to come back and stop in the position where your output is actually starts. So this is the output. So these Turing machines are slightly different from the earlier Turing machines. In the earlier Turing machines, the concept is all about whether the given string is accepted by the Turing machine or not. Okay, they will give only yes or no answers with respect to the previous Turing machines. They will give either yes answer or no answer. If the string is belongs to the language, the answer is yes. If the string is not belongs to the language, the answer is no. But these Turing machines will perform computations. That means if you give input and it will give a mathematical output, and it is not the yes or no answers. Okay, so for every input you give, you will get output. Okay, so that these are different Turing machines. So once you are done with your processing the entire string, it is always a good practice to come back and stop in the place where your output is actually starts. Okay, so what you have to do is you start from the left to right, start from the first position and keep changing zeros as ones and ones as zeros, ones as zeros, zeros as one, ones as zeros, zeros as one. So you have to keep doing this until you find the blank space. So once you find the blank space, that means all the inputs is processed, and it is always good practice to come back and to come back to the leftmost and stop in the position where your output is actually starts. So this is the place where your output is actually starts. Okay, so let us construct Turing machine for this one. It's very simple. So what to do if you get 0 or if you get 1? You start from this position. What to do if you get 1 or 0? The input string can start with 0 or 1. It can start with any symbols. What to do if you get 0?
Replace with 1.
Exactly. If you get 0, replace 0 with 1, and you have to keep moving to the left side or right side.
Right side.
Right side. You have to keep moving to the right side. Similarly, if you get 1, what to do?
Replace with 0.
You have to replace 1 with the 0, and you have to keep moving to the right side. Okay, so you have to keep doing this until you find the blank space. The moment you find the blank space, and you have to keep moving to the left side, to the leftmost end, because it is a good practice to stop your input tape, the place where your output is actually starts, and you have to ignore all the symbols in between before you reach the leftmost end. So ignore all the symbols before you reach the leftmost blank symbol. Just keep moving to the left side. Okay, just keep moving to the left side, irrespective of whether it is 0 or 1. Just keep moving to the left side, irrespective of whether it is 0 or 1, until you find the blank space on the left side. Okay, so once you find the blank space on the left side, just move to the right side and stop here. Okay, state Q1 and Q2, actually you can stop at state Q0 itself. You can stop at state Q0 itself, where the Q0 itself will changing all zeros into ones and ones into zeros. You can stop here at Q0 itself without considering Q1 and Q2. But it is always good practice to always end at the position where your output is actually start. So we'll come back and we'll stop in the position where our output is actually starts. Okay, so this is the reason is so once you construct and leave the Turing machine, if someone will come back, they should know from which position the output is actually starts with. So these are the steps. So this is the way how you are supposed to construct a Turing machine for one's complement. So let's move to the second problem and how to find out 2's complement for the given input string. So can anybody say what's the 2's complement for this number without doing any computations? I explained this when we were discussing Murray mission and Mealy mission. I told you on how to convert the given binary string into 2's complement without doing much calculations, without doing one's complement plus 1. What is the 2's complement for this one? The 2's complement of any number is 1's complement plus 1. So which means, so if this is your number, if this is your binary string 0 11 0 1 0 0, if this is your binary input string, and the 2's complement you are supposed to do like this. First you have to perform 1's complement, and then you have to add 1 to the given string. So first perform 1's complement, becomes 1 0 0 1 0 1 1 1. So first perform 1's complement and then you add 1. Okay, first perform 1's complement and then add 1. Let's see how it looks like. 1 plus 1 1 0, 1 plus 1 1 0, 1 plus 1 1 0 is 1 1 0 0 0 0 1. So this is the given binary input string. So this is the given binary input string, and this is the 2's complement of the string. If you observe these two, and you can find some similarities in between these two. Can you find what are the similarities? You can get the pattern. You can understand a pattern if you observe input and output. This is
from right to left. If we encounter 1, and then we have to change all the values from 0s to 1s and 1s to 0s, except that 1.
Exactly. So that is actually the answer is. So if you observe this input string and it's binary, it's 2's complement. 0 is 0, input is 0, output is 0. Input is 0 and output is 0. Input is 0 and output is 0. Input 1 and output is also 1 up to this point. Whatever the input is there, that input is actually reflecting on the output side. But from there onwards, the moment you encounter 1, from there onwards, if you observe, okay, everything is a complement of input. 0 is 1, 1 becomes 0, 1 becomes 0, 0 becomes 1. Right? It is exactly how Prakash said. Okay, it's very simple. The output is exactly same until you find the first 0. The output is exactly same as input until you find the first 0. So first one. The moment you find first one, from that point, from there onwards, okay, from there onwards, you have to complement the remaining input. 0 becomes 1, 1 becomes 0, 1 becomes 0, and 0 becomes 1. So this is, I told you when we were talking about the Murray and mission. Okay, when we're talking about the 2's complement in Murray and Mealy mission. Okay, so let us construct Turing machine for this one. So assume that this is a Turing machine. let's feed the same input 0 1 0 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 and so let us take this as a input. Okay, and both end of the input will be having the blank symbols to indicate the beginning and end of the input. So what? Okay, the logic is very simple. First, you have to move towards the right end. Okay, you have to move to the right without doing anything to your input. Okay, and then come back to find the first one. The moment you find the first one, from there onwards, you have to complement everything. Okay, it is very simple. First, move from left to right without doing anything, and then come back from right to left to find the first one. So up to that one, we are not changing any input. Okay, from there onwards, we are going to complement everything. Okay, that's it. Okay, so let's start with the Q naught. So we are going to move to the right hand without doing anything. Okay, so initially our tape head points the first symbol, and we are moving to the rightmost end without changing any input symbols. Okay, whether it is 0 or 1, you just keep moving to the right side. Just go to the top or right hand. Okay, irrespective of whether it is 0 or 1, just keep moving to the right side without changing the values. 0 will remain 0 and 1 will remain 1. Okay, so we'll keep moving to the right side until you encounter the blank space. Okay, so what to do when we encounter blank space? What to do when we move to the right hand? What to do when we move to the right hand? So once we move to the right end, okay, then you have to keep coming to the left side without changing any input. You have to keep coming to the left side without changing any input until you find the ones. Okay, in between you will have a number of zeros. You have to ignore all zeros. Okay, from the right to left, we are searching for the first one, and you ignore all the zeros, whatever that appears in between, before you find the first one. Just keep moving to the left side. Okay, so the at state Q naught, you are keep moving to the right side until the end of the string. From Q naught to Q1, at the state of Q1, so what you are doing is you are searching for the first one. The moment you find the first one, should I change the first one or leave it as it is? When I find the first one, should I change it or leave it as it is?
Leave it as it is.
Leave it as it is and move to the left side. And what about the remaining input from there onwards? What about the remaining input from there onwards? The moment you find first one, from there onwards, what to do for the remaining input?
Complement for the remaining.
Complement the remaining input. Replace 0 with 1 and move to the left side. Replace 1 with 0 and move to the left side. Okay, so this process will be keep repeating until you find the blank space. Okay, so once you find the blank space here, just move one position to the right side and stop in the place where your output is actually starts. Just move. Okay, once you reach the leftmost end, just keep the blank space as it is and move one position to the right side. Okay, to stop in the place where your output is actually starts. That's it. So this is the way how you are supposed to construct a Turing machine for the 2's complement. Okay. So what you have to do is you have to go to the rightmost end, and then from right to left you keep searching for the first one. The moment you get first one, leave that one as it is and keep moving to the left side and change and complement everything. Okay, so every time once you find one, leave that one as it is and complement all the remaining input till the end of the input to the leftmost. And finally, you stop in the position where your output is actually starts. The next problem is how to find addition of unary number system. So basically, if you want to add two numbers using Turing machine, what we will do is we'll convert the number into unary number system, then we'll perform addition. Okay, for example, if A is 3, and we'll convert this A into this 3 into unary number system, where the unary number system will have only one symbol, like how binary is having zeros and ones. The unary number system is having only one symbol, let's say 1. Okay, so the number of ones is equivalent to the number itself. Okay, if the number is 3, we'll take 3 ones. If the number is 4, we'll take 4 ones. Okay, we'll represent the numbers in unary number system like this. Okay, where the length of the string is equal to the number itself. So this is similar to your elementary school mathematics. Okay, in elementary school mathematics, they will teach you addition or subtraction with respect to this sticks. Okay, this is similar to sticks. So what we will do is we'll perform addition of these two numbers with the help of unary number system. We'll take one input tape. We'll take one input tape, and we will feed the input in the input tape separated by a special symbol. Okay, first we will feed the first representation, first number. We'll feed the first number. Then we'll place a separate character of your own choice. Okay, that separates the first number and second number. Okay, the first number is 3, so which contains 3 sticks or 3 ones, and the second number is 4, so it consists of 4 sticks or 4 ones. And you have blank spaces, the leftmost end and the rightmost end. Okay, so this is the first you have to write your input like this. Okay, you have to convert the given decimal number into unary number system by placing number of sticks or number of ones equal to the decimal number. Okay, the C will act as the separator between the two numbers. The left side of C contains unary representation of input A, and the right side contains a unary representation of second number. Okay, so it is similar to string concatenation. You just have to concatenate. So once you process all the input, the output should have 7 sticks, 7 consecutive sticks. How to do it? The output should have 7 consecutive sticks. Only 7 sticks, that 2 consecutive sticks. How to do this? So it should be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 consecutive sticks, and there should be blank spaces after that. See here, I'm leaving this one as it is, and I'm leaving all these ones as it is until I get C. Okay, every time I get 1, I'm just leaving ones as it is. And what I'm going to do is, as I need consecutive ones, I'm going to change this C as 1. Okay, if I leave all the ones as it is. Okay, so I'm keeping ones as it is. I'm keeping all the ones as it is. As I need 7 consecutive ones, I'm changing the intermediate C as 1 and keeping remaining all ones as it is. If you observe this output, how many ones actually we need, how many ones are there? The first number is 3 and second number 4. If you add them, how many ones we should get?
7.
7 ones we should get. But how many ones we're having now?
8.
8 ones. So what to do? We need 7 ones. And okay, we don't want one extra one. How this one extra one comes from? This extra one comes from changing C to 1. So to compensate this C, okay, to compensate this extra one, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the last one as a blank symbol. Okay, I'm changing the last one as a blank symbol to compensate it C, to compensate one extra, okay, to compensate one extra one we get after changing C as 1. That's it. Okay, so it's very simple. Just okay, every time you get 1, just keep 1 as it is and keep moving to the right side. Okay, we're not doing any changes to the ones. Every time you get 1, just keep 1 as it is and move to the right side until you get 1. Okay, the moment you get 1, what to do? What to do the moment you get 1? Sorry, you have to keep doing this until you get C. So what to do the moment you get C? So what we are doing the moment we are getting C?
Change it to 1 and keep moving to right.
You have to change it to 1 and keep moving to the right side. And we are changing this C to 1 to make sure that we are getting consecutive ones. Okay. After changing C to 1, what to do for the remaining ones? You have to keep the remaining ones as it is until the end of the string. Keep the remaining ones as it is, okay, until the end of the string. Now, if you observe this, and we need actually 7 ones. We are having extra 1 here. Now your input tape is here, and you're having totally 8 ones, but we should get only 7 ones. So what we have to do is we have to change the previous one to the blank symbol to compensate one extra one we get after changing C to 1. Okay, change the 1 as a blank space, only one as a blank space to compensate the extra 1 we received after converting C to 1. And you have to keep moving to the left side. Okay, so you have to change this 1 to blank spaces so that we'll get a required number of ones. Now you are here. As I said, every time it is very good practice to stop your input tape the place where your output is actually starts. So now your cursor, now your input tape is here. It is good practice to come back and stop at this position. Okay, just keep moving to the left side without doing any changes to the input. Until the blank spaces. Once you find the leftmost blank space, the left side blank space, keep it as it is and stop the next position. Okay, so this is the way we are supposed to do it. So actually what we are doing is we are just changing C to 1 for getting consecutive ones. So we will get consecutive ones, but we'll get one extra one. Okay, to compensate one extra one we get after converting C to 1, we are changing the last one as a blank space. That's it. So this is your algorithm. This is your steps. Okay, what we are doing is we are just replacing C with 1, and if you replace C with 1, we'll get one extra 1. So to compensate that extra symbol, we are going to change the last one as a blank symbol to get the required number of ones. And it is always good practice to go back and stop in the position where your output is actually starts.